never know what someone's gonna say that you're like, that's interesting, right? We'll just give each other a look and we know what the look is.
That right there is Tigirlily, the sister act that is just tearing things up right now in the country music scene. We're going to spend an hour with them, Nikki. They're fascinating.
I love them so much. Yeah. They are so fun.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like one of the sisters.
They're they reveal so much in the interview about just how they got to where they are right now and where they want to go. And I thought that was very honest of them and open of them, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they have done so much already in country music, but then they have so much more to accomplish. And I loved hearing them talk about their dreams and how far they've come.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we did the Bob Woodruff Foundation golf tournament.
How was that?
People with head trauma, veterans.
Yeah.
Amazing group of people. Yeah. So much fun. I played on the DirecTV team, so I'm glad that I actually am a customer.
How'd you play?
That would have been awkward. I played, it was 110 degrees out.
Oh.
It was survival.
Oh,
This summer is like turned on.
Well, finally though, because I feel like the whole beginning of June it was freezing. I was just like, what am I gonna do?
Yep.
I can't take my kid to the pool. The water is 50 degrees and it's raining.
Yep.
So you will not hear me complain about this heat.
Not at all.
And you like to have your skin melt off in the heat.
Well, I can sweat when it's 30 degrees out, so this is like, okay,
like
now everyone's even with me, okay? Because I always sweat.
Okay.
Hey, the clothing thing, we had the clothing sponsor, Simon Says, like the best kept little secret down in Wedgwood, Houston.
Yes.
They got a lot of feedback from that first mention.
Well, because your outfits are great, but it's because Carrie's dressing you. Like, Carrie knows how to pick stuff.
Yes.
But you are wearing it well.
The designers they have are kind of exclusive to them.
Yes.
The shirt is
Dibby.
The pants are
Mavi.
And I love them, and they're comfy, and they're great.
Very nice.
And actually, we have a guest coming up on one of our later episodes that she's a rising country music artist that met Carrie over at Simon Says, because they stylize a lot of people, not just men, women too. But if you have a guy who needs help, go there.
All guys. I mean,
have you gotten their clothing stuff yet?
I did.
Oh, you have one?
Yes, Neil. Saison, one of my favorite brands. They're a French brand in Paris, which you know my love for Paris. I am wearing head to toe Saison, my sweater, tank top, and my jeans. They make the best jeans, so if you don't know about Saison, and they actually just opened up a store in 12 South.
Good
it's
deal.
like right behind, you know where La La Land is about to open up?
Yeah.
It's right behind there, and it's just a pop-up.
Okay.
But I was talking to the manager, and they said that they're hopeful that they'll stick around because the response to them being in Nashville has been huge.
Oh, I love it.
It's
really
just
great,
like chic.
Great new stuff coming.
Yeah, it's just chic clothes.
So we have clothing, so we don't have to do the show without clothing. That's good. And now we just have to learn to pay for the electricity. After we pay for the electricity, then we're going to pay for the equipment. We have a lot to go here.
Quit acting like we don't have sponsors, because we have some in the works.
We have some in the works.
We're waiting on these to try.
That's right.
Okay.
It's all coming together. We put together those packages and people are jumping on it. So
I'm kind of shocked, but also not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Tigirlily Gold was awesome. Great interview. And if you haven't listened to Erin Obria's interview about all of the peptides and everything, like, that was fascinating.
She was amazing.
The nicotine patches.
Absolutely.
I got a lot of messages about that.
Okay. I had a lot of questions too, and I thought that was very interesting. And that's the type of stuff I want to do a lot of, like just kind of finding someone that's interesting and figuring out why. Yeah. Without further ado, let's get to Tigirlily Gold and enjoy. This is a great, great time. Where do we begin this interview?
Where do we begin? Well, we begin, Neil, with these two lovely ladies beside us.
Right, and Tigirlily Gold, we introduced just a moment ago, and you guys, you're traveling a lot, so you cut out 45 minutes for us because you're leaving here and going to the airport.
No, they're going to write.
Well, we're going to write a song after this, and then we're going to the airport because we're playing a festival up in Minnesota this weekend.
Okay.
So almost a home show, basically. Yeah. But we go into record soon, so we're like, this is our last write before we record again, and so we are like, we have to make the most of all the time we have, especially when we're in Nashville, because we're not here a lot, especially during the summer with it's crazy season, right? And so we're gonna do this and then go to the right and then take a flight, and that's just a normal day.
Day in life.
But is it hard to like turn on the writing juice just like that? Like we have an appointment, we have to go be real creative right now.
I will say it can be
Sometimes, especially if you're really worn out or tired.
exhausted. Yeah.
But I think being in Nashville for 8 years, we write with people who we really trust and bring their best as well. So sometimes you do lean on the other writers a little bit to kind of bring that energy if you're a little tired. But the guys writing with today, they always bring it. But sometimes the days you do feel tired, you write the most magical song. So really, our publisher gave us this advice, but just show up.
Yeah. Show up
In whatever
always.
capacity you are, just show up, and you never know what can happen, which is something that keeps you going for sure. As a
That was
songwriter.
what Gary Sinise said the other day.
Yeah, just
actually,
show
It's
up.
just show up.
Yeah.
Show up,
And just
be
be there and be present and be in that moment for you.
So when you go in today, do you have an idea of what you want to write? Have you been
Yeah.
do you take out a piece of paper or you have a notes folder on your phone? Or?
A notes folder on the phone. Today we do have a specific idea we're wanting to write because we're so close to cutting. So we have a song idea going in. I text the guys about it, and they've already written out lyrics and done that whole it should go pretty fast today, but sometimes we'll go into a write and be like, y'all,
We'll spend an hour trying to find
I have
an
no idea what
that
we
we
want
like.
to write today. We are out of ideas. So it goes in waves, but I feel like for us, when we get so close to recording again, we get really excited and inspired and just have all these ideas flowing through our brains. So we have a specific idea, that we definitely want to write today. So I'm excited. I
Can
think
you give us a hint?
it's
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 country.
about
Oh, good. That's
it's about
Narrows it down.
being a girl
okay.
and
being country.
and being
Love
country.
it.
Super vague still. Super vague.
That's
but-
very vague. Yes.
And souls. Kind of like your recent release that you just debuted at the Opry.
Yes, think
Girls
about
on
that.
Guys.
Oh, right,
yeah,
Girls
too.
on Guys.
I love
There's so many. We've released so many new songs
Right.
this year. Actually, there was Forever From Here was at the top of the
I
year.
love that one.
Then Girls on Guys, which is super fun. And then thinking about that, actually, technically, you're right. We haven't released it yet. It's coming out on July 11th.
Okay.
But yes, so much new music, and it's fun because we're just in this very inspired space. And the guys we're going to write with today actually wrote thinking about that as well, which we're getting ready to release. So
It's a great song.
so many new songs, and very excited for this just new era that we're in. But yeah, you should talk about thinking about that because it's
Okay.
it's your story because Krista recently got engaged.
I did.
Congratulations.
It's like, they'll get the ring shot, you know.
The lights,
Yeah,
please.
it's
The lights,
fine.
please.
I'm completely in that insufferable phase where I'm just yelling that I'm engaged.
It's not
You have
insufferable.
to be,
But
yes.
I mean, if you're not super excited about it, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
But-
You're like, I'm engaged.
But a lot of times people be like, do you write songs based off personal experiences? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, sometimes we just write the best ideas. So it really depends on what the day lends to.
Yeah.
But think about that. Was literally a quote from boyfriend, now fiance. We were driving down the road, and this was before we had said I love you. This was, before all the moving in together, all these things, very early on in the relationship. So think back to the early stages. We were kind of nervous to be around each other still. And we were driving down the road, and he pointed out a house, and he said, what do you think about that house? And I was like, this is kind of random. I'm like, I said, I don't know. I've never had to think about that before because I'm a very type B person.
Sure.
It's hard for me to plan stuff unless I'm like in the moment and it's right in front of me. So I've never really thought about it. I've never had a
Guilty.
Pinterest. Yeah, I've never had a
Guilty.
Pinterest. Now I have because I have to, gonna plan a wedding now and all this stuff. But he asked me what I think about the house. I was like, I don't know. I've never really had to think about that. And he looked at me and said, well, you should start thinking about that. And I was like, ooh. It
Did
might
that
have been-
switch when you said that's a
Okay.
country song? Or
Yes, at first I was like, that was very cute and smooth, and I'm definitely in love with you. And I also said, I was like, I'm so sorry, but I have to write that down. Not to take away from this moment, but he's also a songwriter as well too, so he gets it. But
Oh, okay, okay.
he's very happy about it though. He just loves being mentioned in a song. So
So you guys just surround each other talking all day long, going, wait a minute, gotta write that down. That's,
Yeah, I mean,
that's a song, that's a song.
Truly, y'all could say something during this podcast, and I'll be thinking in my head, make sure to write that down
I
later.
would
It's just
die.
you never know
Yeah.
when inspiration is going to hit you. So it's just at all times. And then we just have both of us have running lists of titles in our notes or just random sayings or things like that we'll go off of. And it just keeps it exciting. You never know what someone's gonna say that you're like, that's interesting. Right? We'll just give each other a look, like, and we know what the look is. Like,
we're at a dinner where someone will like kick each other under the table, you know?
yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Like, is she kicking me because I'm not supposed to be saying what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's a good idea. I don't know which one it is,
I
but
can't tell what this kick was a little lighter, so I think
Yeah.
it's good. But
You guys are Morse code language with each other.
yeah, definitely. I mean, as y'all know, when you
Yes.
spend so much time with someone, you can tell what they're thinking through a look or a little nudge or.
I totally get that. Why is it that sisters or brothers or family members that are in a band together can harmonize so well? I mean, because I read in your bio that you guys had to work at it, right? It didn't come naturally. You had to work at it.
Yeah.
There's not much music in your family.
Yeah.
How does this start? Especially, I have 2 daughters. I know how they are to each other.
Yeah.
I know how you guys were to each other when
Yeah.
you were younger.
Yeah.
How did this all come about? Like 12 years old or
I mean, yeah, our parents aren't musical, but we always have just loved music, and it's just been a part of our life. I mean, through going to church when we were young and things like that.
and she always had a very beautiful. She's the lead singer of the group. I do harmony and acoustic guitar, and we both write together. But she always had a very strong voice, even as a child.
Yeah.
She would sing in church, and I think you're born with tone. I think you can get better, but the tone you have and how you develop it, I think that's definitely a natural thing. But she was older sister, and we do have a younger sister as well too. So us two, we did get along pretty well growing up, I will say, because I was a middle child, and I tried to get along with
you were
everybody.
the peacemaker. You were
Exactly. I tried to get along with
middle as
everybody.
well.
Yeah, we're the best.
Okay,
How can I
what about as older children?
Yeah,
First
we
born.
plan everything.
We guide the
everybody's lives better,
Yes.
and what do we get?
We
in
get all
return?
hard first.
You get no hand-me-downs. Right?
Yeah, that's-
Everything is new for you. We
That's
get
true,
hand-me-downs.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, Krista started. I was in piano by 2nd grade, and my piano teacher was really encouraging, just of how quickly I picked it up, and I don't know, it's just always something I loved. I loved being on stage. I loved performing, and then Krista started writing songs when she was 10, playing guitar, and then I was probably 13 when we started writing songs. Obviously, very inspired by Taylor, and seeing her do her thing, being like, oh my gosh. Well, Taylor Swift can write songs, so I can write songs about, I don't know what at 10, but...
Yeah, I really thought I was ready for a record deal at 12 years old. I was like, sign me or not. I'm going to be an international superstar.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Thank
We
goodness
love a
I'm
little
doing
delusion, clearly.
Yeah, I think you have to have a little bit.
that. You have to have a little
bit.
delusion
Yeah.
to make it in this industry for sure.
But it's support from your family, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. And our parents are so supportive. Our mom kind of helped manage us when we were minors, obviously, because who was going to sign the contracts, who was going to do all this stuff. So our mom would help us with all that stuff. And then our dad, he's a respiratory therapist, so not in the music world at all, but he learned how to do sound. He would drive us to shows, help us set up our merch stand.
So
That's
supportive.
amazing.
And then Carly, we would have to pay her to
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah, she
Yes.
wasn't.
She wasn't like, I'm just doing this for fun.
The youngest is always the wheeler dealer.
Yeah,
See,
she was,
that's true too, actually.
Good for her, though.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Starting business, at a
Yeah.
young age.
Good.
Yeah. So it really was a whole family just affair, and even at that time, that's when Jared, he's now my husband, we started kind of dating, and he would come on the road with us and help, and he's a photographer. He would take pictures of us. Like, it just was a full family
Right.
thing, and all of us probably, none of us knew that this could be a career. It was just, at the time, something that was super enjoyable and fun. And in North Dakota, which is
Right.
where we're from, there wasn't a ton of people writing original music, wanting to play it out. So we would get these very unique opportunities to open for the big act that would come into
Yeah.
town, or play the county fair, or go into schools and talk to kids and sing. Like, it was just very unique situations because of where we were from, and so it was just fun. And then eventually we met a few people from Nashville, and they were like, if you want to take this big time, this is where you have to be. And that was probably the turning moment for us, going, we could stay here, make a living, play music, but if we really want to have no regrets and see where this goes, we have to move to Nashville. So after she graduated high school in 2016, about a year later, us two and my boyfriend Jared at the time, we all moved to Nashville.
We had to save up some money to move down to Nashville.
Yeah, we saved up. We had to tour one more year because we had toured for a couple of years at that point, just the Midwest, saving up money to move to Nashville, and then moved to Music City.
I
And
love
it's
it.
been almost 8 years now.
So I had a question because I know. So you went to college in North Dakota State.
I went to
Dakota?
UND, University of North Dakota. So yeah, there's NDSU, which is the football.
Yes.
Go Bison.
Fargo.
Yes.
No,
No,
Fargo.
big deal, right?
Yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
They've won 9 or 10 championships. And
Like in a
lost
row,
When
right?
you lose track because there's so
Yeah.
many, it's a good thing, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but I went to UND, which is in Grand Forks,
That's
North
the hockey
Dakota.
college.
The hockey college. So they've
Yes,
also won
okay.
a bunch of championships.
University of Denver, okay? So we
Oh.
know all about you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
we got you.
The Ralph, I mean, it's a beautiful, both colleges are beautiful. But I went there for a semester after I graduated high school in 2014. And then basically, it was very, very hard for us to continue to do music or practice or do anything. And so I decided to, I hate to say drop out, but
No.
I kind of did drop out of college. I basically at that point after a semester. And I moved back home to wait for her to graduate high school. So then we could move to Nashville together. I will say that wasn't my favorite part of life, but it was kind of necessary for what needed to happen for us to continue this and keep momentum and then move to Nashville. So that was when I was very, very serious about, no, we're going to do this. Like,
That's why I wanted to ask you
we
about
have
it.
to
Yeah.
do this. Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a pivot that a lot of people come to in their life, and not everyone takes that pivot. It would have been very easy for you to stay there
Yes.
and just do it,
Yes.
right? But
Yeah.
that took a lot of guts
Yeah.
to say,
And
I'm going to do this.
I mean, I had no friends in my hometown. I mean, everyone had, moved away. So it was definitely a very serious decision. It was,
I'm not laughing at you.
I had no friends. I had no friends. It was me and my cats and no. But Jared still lived there. So thankfully I had him and, Jared and I, my ride or die. And then I had Krista at least. But you were in school. What was I supposed to do during the day? And he was working. So anyways, it was fine. It was fine. It was all good. And it worked out.
Clearly.
That's very
right.
But don't say I've never done anything for you in my life.
I've actually never said that.
You've never said that. I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. You moved to Nashville, but then you both go to Belmont. You
Yes.
both get in the
So-
music program.
Yeah, we both got in the music program there, and we would go to college Monday and Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at nights. We stacked all of our classes. We would write Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we would play Broadway in Nashville Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Underage.
Yes,
Because
I
you're
started
barely
playing-
age now, so.
but she was 19.
Yep, I started playing at Nudie's Honky Tonk was our first
Yeah.
gig on Broadway, which is hilarious when your parents don't know what Nudie's Honky. They're like, oh my gosh, what is
Is
this?
this a strip bar?
Yeah,
What's
literally.
going on here?
We're like,
Like,
we're not
what
at
is
a
this?
strip club, I promise.
I promise.
We're not nude.
Where
Yeah.
is this paycheck coming from? Why are you sending me all cash, $1
Well,
bills?
Yeah.
literally,
This is
we would go into the bank, and we would have wads of $1
Yeah.
bills, and they would kind of look at us.
I just kind of I like to let them think a little.
Yeah.
I work downtown.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
It was a good night last night.
Yeah,
Good,
but no,
good
literally,
customers.
like, 'cause
Yeah.
the bar managers knew I was underage, so like, people would be buying you shots, it's like the party thing in Nashville, and you encourage the party, and but I would just like give them to the drummer,
Or just
yeah. But it was a big deal when I did turn 21. Finally, playing downtown, we're like, woo, Krista's buying the 21 now.
because I mean the slots you get at those bars, a lot of it is determined by how good the bar sales
Yeah.
are. So I mean that all that goes into it. So you want people
Right.
buying the band shots and doing things like that. But yeah, at the same time, you're like, Krista, do not take. She wouldn't.
Oh, and at that
don't
point-
take that because we'll for sure get fired too.
Right.
We
Yeah,
take everything so seriously.
Yeah.
And we went to Nashville, went to college, and did all this. We didn't go to college for fun. I know that but we kind of missed out on that kind of experience. But I don't know what first semester you had up in North Dakota. Maybe you did get experience it a little bit, but we moved to Nashville because that's what we want to do for a living. So I was not so concerned about. I had no social life besides music, which was awesome. But we weren't concerned about necessarily having fun. Like, this is work. We have to do this. And honestly, we met so many cool people downtown and learned so much. You see everything.
You're
There is
struggling
to see.
too. There's beauty in that struggle, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of struggle.
Keep talking,
Yes.
keep talking.
Lots of struggle. Because we played Broadway for 3 years.
3 years.
And I mean, there's definitely, I can think back to a lot of times when there was a lot of struggle and you kind of just feel like you're spinning your wheels and for what?
Like,
You know,
And you
why?
can't
Why?
see any progress either. It's hard
Right.
to.
And the crowd changes every night, so you have to like reintroduce yourself to everybody. So you don't really gain traction with locals as
Yes.
much, right?
Oh, it's
That's
definitely not
hard.
a local place.
But it
No.
teaches you how to.
It teaches
Entertain.
you how to entertain. It gives you those 10,000 hours that you really need to figure it all out and know how to entertain a crowd who has no idea who you are and maybe probably they don't even care.
No, they don't.
They're just going from bar to bar going, who's the best band? Can I stay here and drink a few? You know, do I want to tip them? That's really the mentality of them. And we were pretty realistic about that, knowing how do we capture these how do we capture
Tourists.
these they basically how do we
Basically,
capture
right.
their attention for the next few minutes to where they want to stay and maybe they do eventually become a fan of us.
They
and
remember
what we
your
do.
name.
Yeah,
Yes.
honestly, to this day at our show, we always say we have some people from North Dakota. They're home state's very supportive,
Oh,
which we
of
love.
course.
Love that.
And
Which
someone-
your whole home state could fit into Nudies.
yes,
Basically,
almost.
2,200 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And someone from who's seen us play downtown, either at Nudies or Whiskey Row, we played it a lot.
Yeah, we
too
just see a
downtown.
lot of comments. I remember in 2019 when I saw y'all play it.
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey Row or Nudies, and it's just it's really fun to.
I would never regret playing Broadway.
No, I would do it 1,000 times again.
Yeah, I don't regret it at all.
There's nothing worse than that person who has their back to you sitting at the bar and you're like, no, we got to spin that dude around.
Yeah.
You're like,
It
you
gives
really
you
got
a little edge. You're like, okay, how do I
Turn these
turn
people.
this people into a Tigirlily Gold fan today?
I'll go Kendra sing this one, I should get their attention.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that you want to say because at the end of the day, you're there to entertain. That's your job, and the audience doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah.
But there's some days where you can come in and be like, oh, I'm not feel like they can feel the rage inside of you. And like, I really should not yell at people today. But we'll see what happens.
You're like, this set list is getting switched up.
Yeah.
See, she gets the rage. I would feel like I just want to cry.
Zone out.
Yeah, or zone out. Yeah, but yeah.
There's a tip jar up here.
Yeah, and it's like, but you can't expect that from anyone. Like
Right.
that is not their responsibility at the end of the day. So.
But it's also the only way you make money. So it's a fine
yes,
line.
It is a fine line, and you know, downtown on Broadway, if you're down there, you see bands carrying around a tip bucket and asking for tips, and it's just what you do. But I always hated doing that because you know we were taught like you never ask someone for money, right? That's how we grew up.
It's awkward.
It's awkward,
Especially as a woman too.
yes, and
Yeah.
but it's
yeah,
just,
but they make all the women do it because they're
Of
like,
course they do.
yes
we're
because
not
they
gonna get tips
yeah.
from a 40-year-old man, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
So it's just very weird. So we would, you know, I would take the tip bucket around, and honestly, I probably took way too much time because I would be the person be like, "Where are you from? What you doing here?" And by the time I'd get back,
30
on
minutes
stage,
later.
yeah. But it really was a great way to connect, and yeah, never would regret that part of our journey ever. It was
So when
great.
you moved down here from North Dakota and you decided to go to Belmont, you didn't have to go to Belmont. You could have just hustled on Broadway and made it through. Why did you make that decision? That's a lot of extra work for you.
Yes, a lot of extra work, a lot of extra money, right? I think our parents felt a lot better about us moving to Nashville, to the big city from small town, knowing we were in a
We actually
A really great, yeah.
we actually registered at MTSU as well because we're like,
Yeah.
what college can we afford?
yeah,
Let's
whatever.
see.
Honestly.
But the out-of-state tuition was about the same
Yeah.
either way for
Correct,
MTSU.
Yeah.
But honestly, we went to Belmont, yes, because to kind of get connected in this community, and we used it as a tool. We both graduated with a music business degree,
Which is great
Smart.
knowledge.
so that if we were to go to college, get a degree, we wanted to be able to be used for a lot of things, and music business was the perfect degree for us.
And for us, we were already writing songs so much. We were already playing so much. It was, where do we need more knowledge? And it's obviously the business side. And so that was our whole goal behind going to school for that. And it's very nice now when we, you know, get contracts back.
Yeah.
And obviously we have a great lawyer, but still to understand that kind of language or publishing or just all the different things that it's very confusing to explain the music industry to someone because there's so many different facets of what happens. But to have just better knowledge and understanding of all of that, especially as women in this industry.
It's very Taylor Swift of you.
Yes, we just learned from Mother. We learned from Mother Taylor.
And the church said amen.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I want to get back to your writing of the songs. You've really taken on this girl anthem type themes in a lot of your music there, and it's on your merchandise too. Some of the great lines from your songs.
Yes.
We need
Did
to
that
get
come
you one, Neil.
Did that come naturally, or did one song lead to another, or was it like?
Well, so our name is Tigirlily Gold, and if you see it, it's spelled really weird. Tigirlily.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, you. Wow.
You should have explained it to me.
Well, no, I got it through trial and error, and I wanted to talk to you about that because the putting the gold on the end was solid gold. I mean, if you spell tiger the normal way, the flower way,
with the E. Yep.
yeah, and put gold after it, you will come up on the search. So that was a genius move.
So we started out just as Tigirlily, and this is going to go into the songwriting empowerment.
Yes.
I'm getting there.
I know, yeah.
But when we chose the name Tigirlily, it was the flower growing in our parents' backyard.
Oh.
So we loved it, and it just felt very young and fun. And we were 14 and 16 at the time. And we still feel young and fun, hopefully, but but we changed the spelling of it to Tigirlily just to embrace that female empowerment. And then a few years ago, we were just noticing more and more there was just so many different clothing brands or flowers or other bands or other just entities with the name Tigirlily. And so to make sure people knew us as the country music duo, which is what you're saying, we added gold to the end, and that also reflects back home in North Dakota in the wheat fields and the sunrises and sunsets and the hair color and everything like that. So once we added gold, I feel like it just helped people understand who we are as an artist. And we're in the country music space, and just distinguish that a lot more. But yeah, so the female empowerment has always been in our music. Not every song has that, but most.
No, not every song.
Most of our music, even we have a song called "I Try to Ring On," and it's a heartbreak song. And it says, "I'm sure I'll get over you being gone. I just feel stupid. I try to ring on it." It's like, I know I can get over you. I can get past this, but just having that realization of, I feel a little like
Frustrated. Yeah.
a fool. But yeah, we want to make people feel good.
Yeah.
That's what, at the end of the day, this career, what it's about is just making people feel good, connecting people,
Bringing joy to people. Honestly, at the end of the day, like, what's your why? What keeps us going is I want to bring joy to people. Because why else? There's really no other point to it. For me.
So much happening in this world that we can't control, right? But we can control.
We can be distractions for people.
Yes.
We can make people feel, but relate to what people are going through, or bring joy to people. And at the end of the day,
That's it.
That's what we're put on this earth to do. So
And I think other young artists, especially young female artists, seeing you is also pretty inspirational, because you guys came from 2,000 people in a town, and so many young girls out there, and guys too, can see them like, I'm from this middle of nowhere. Like, how in the world am I going to make a name for myself? And y'all did it.
I will. I don't know how we did it. I'm laughing right now because, it's super cool to look back.
I think not giving up.
Never giving up, persevering past the person who's going to give up.
We're 13 years into this band.
Yeah,
we are the frickin' tortoise in the parable or whatever of the tortoise and the hare. We will finish first still, but we are the tortoise. But if you do something, Kendra said this a lot. It's like day by day that progresses your career forward, even if it's a small step. But it is cool to look, because now our concerts will go back home, and there are young artists from North Dakota or girls, and everyone just saying how proud of us that they are, and it's really gratifying to you because. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that to be inspiring to other people. Maybe I should give myself more credit, Yeah. And now I do. Now I've owned it. I don't have like imposter syndrome now.
Right.
But it is really cool because I think so much people just need a little encouragement. It's also much they need to see that someone can do it.
It's cool to be in a place too where we can offer that. I feel we are at a point now where I feel we don't know everything, but at a point to where I can offer wisdom and guidance to a young female coming up. She's from a small town. I feel sincere in what I can say to them, and it's cool that we can be that for someone else, because we needed that, and we still need that in this industry, and we have those women who we look up to, and we can text and ask questions, and if we didn't have that, we'd be a lot more lost, and so you have to just continue to pay it forward. But yeah, it's cool. Isn't it really awesome?
Isn't it fun, Krista, like when you were on the carpet for the AC, you won an ACM, right?
Yeah.
When you were on the carpet that night beforehand, all the reporters going, "You're another overnight success." Like, and you're sitting there in your mind going, "Overnight?"
Right. Honestly, I think I'm just so happy that it's happening. I'm just like, it's called me. Finally, thank God. So, but it is funny because people don't see, you know, a lot of reporters will be like, "You guys have such a big year. Like, did you expect this, or how is it happening?" And I think I'm just so thankful that it's finally happening because we put so much work that, you know, people don't see. I think most artists are not overnight successes. There's a couple exceptions, obviously, but honestly, I think I'm just so happy it's working. I really don't. I'm so not offended by it.
Please call me an overnight success.
Yeah, like, at this point, I think I'll take it. Whatever. I don't really care.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Even when people call us each other's names, my ego is so low.
I bet that
think
happens a lot.
yeah, I don't even, our mom can't even get her name right. Like how, I don't expect people. We're already Tigirlily Gold.
Like, that's hard enough.
You don't have to know my first name. Like,
Yeah.
but no, it is funny. I think my mentality of things is just, I'm so happy it's working. Like,
That's
I
it.
couldn't care less about,
Yeah.
you know, comments people make.
Well, you know, I'm watching your Instagram and I'm watching you guys do that thing with Carly Pearce and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's what I was
now
gonna
they're, now they're meeting other power players in the female space right now, and that's
Yeah.
gotta be.
Has she been a big mentor to you?
Yeah, she's
Totally.
been a huge champion of ours, and we look up to her so much and love her music and just everything she's done. And so to have someone like her in our corner being like, if you ever need anything, Krista was just texting her last night of, who's your skincare girl? Because I need to get on my wedding glow up.
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
who
like,
it is? Do you know who it is?
Is it you? Oh my gosh!
That's hilarious.
Literally, we were texting her last. Okay, we'll talk after
That's
this.
funny.
That
Oh my
is
gosh.
hilarious.
You look great, so.
Yeah. This is what?
She was
This is
texting
so
with
funny.
Carly yesterday.
That's
Or day,
hilarious.
2 days ago. Yeah.
Oh
She
my
was.
gosh.
That is so okay.
Well, she spoke very highly of you.
Yeah, she was like, you have to go. I did not know you were
Skin
her
farm.
girl.
Yes.
But she's like, you have to go see my girl. This is so funny. But yeah, and she'll just. I mean, so we were on tour with her a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a month or so ago, and we don't have a bus yet. We're very close, but we're not there yet.
Oh,
Which is
we're
kind
bus
of a weird
shopping.
thing, yes.
Yes.
Because people at our level be like, you don't really understand the music industry. Be like, bus. They think we're doing great, but they also think we're like millionaires, multi-millionaires.
Right,
at this
of course.
point,
Of
which
course. Well,
most up-and-coming artists are not yet, but have the potential to be.
Sure.
We're on our way. You know?
Will be.
Yes,
Will be.
Buses are very expensive, people, and you don't want one until you know you can afford
You
it.
don't want to be bus poor. You don't want to be bus poor.
I got you, I got
But
you.
so we
That's
were
funny.
we're flying, and we're barely getting any sleep, and she's like, y'all, cancel your flights, you're riding the bus with me, you're gonna get 10 hours of sleep, it's gonna be amazing. And so just to have someone like that just going the extra mile.
Also, who knows what you need?
Yes.
Because they've been through that exact thing, and she did that. She said, like Lady A and Kelsey Ballerini, like did that for her when she was coming up, and there's been so many people like that. Even like Ashley McBride, Lainey Wilson.
Well,
who-
she fought and fought and fought and almost quit a few times actually. And but it was that last little effort that she put forward that all of a sudden just the right time.
Yeah.
And that
That's what
happened.
keeps you going.
Yeah.
It's like you never know which song it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many women who have been so kind to us, and we're very, very grateful
That's
for
so
that
cool.
for that guidance, because this is a very unique industry, and there's no handbook on how to do it, and we're all doing it differently. So to have just a sounding board is so nice. That is so funny.
I'm
though.
still
I can't
like
get
really
over
enjoying
that.
Gary's a genius.
If,
Oh my gosh. Well, we're coming to see you.
this happens a lot, by the way.
Okay,
Just
this
coincidentally.
is so funny.
What song gets the biggest rise out of the crowd now when you're playing?
Probably still Shoot Tequila.
Yeah, we have
So
one.
Tequila's a
Yeah.
great song.
I mean, tequila makes the world go round, I guess.
What's your
Wonderful.
favorite kind of tequila? What are
I probably drink the most, Casamigos,
Yeah.
which is a very, I feel like, standard one. But I'm
Yeah.
going to try other ones.
Okay.
As much as
The
we sing
closest
about...
one in my arm.
Yeah, I will say though, I've kind of gotten a little spoiled a little bit with the tequila, because when we released Shoot Tequila, everyone started,
Oh my gosh.
buying
yeah.
the shots, which is so fun. But if I'll get like a warm tequila shot, I'm like, what? I can't do it.
We're not
But
doing
obviously you can't say no, because it's, we just appreciate that people are, chiming in.
that. Let's see, do one of these.
Yeah. There has been a few times where I've just taken a little sip. We don't need to take the whole
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
No.
I can't do that today.
Y'all don't want to be sloshed on stage.
No.
Well, yeah. Well, it is the last song on purpose.
Yeah,
right?
So,
So,
we're very, which I don't think, we're not like ragers, I don't think you would think that looking
No.
at us either. Honestly, like, we love a good margarita, Shoot Tequila, obviously. We're on
Yeah.
the beach, having a good time. But luckily our fans they're not trying to get us drunk for a show, so that's good. And you wouldn't want that either, I'm not
Well, a few of them are.
On Broadway it's different.
Broadway is
It's been
different.
a couple times, but it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
So what's coming up for you guys as far as travel goes? Because you're We'll talk about the Opry in a minute
Yeah.
because you're coming back in July.
Yep.
But are you doing like the fair stuff? Are you with?
Yeah. So basically, our schedule right now is it's all over the place, but it's so fun. So, like this weekend, we're on a festival opening up for Chris Jansen. Then the next show's opening up for Gabby Barrett. Then we're with Cole Swindell. Then Jordan Davis. We kind of jump from
Oh my, yeah.
artist to artist, and then we're fairs, festivals, doing headlining dates, clubs. We just played Nissan Stadium at CMA Fest. So it's such a variety of what we do right now, which I think is so fun because it keeps it very interesting and you never know what the days is gonna bring. But yeah, we get to play the Opry again. We just played it a few days ago for our 17th time.
I was just gonna ask, it's been 17 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it ever get old?
No.
We are
It does
never going to be people who take that kind of thing for granted
Right.
because I think because it took us so long to get to play our first time there. We made our debut in May 2023, and 10 years prior to that was our first time going to the Opry. So, like I said, tortoise, man.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there, but we still get nervous for the Opry. I think it's such a revered stage, and we just want to do the best job representing country music when we step into that circle together. And every time we're singing in the circle together, they put the two mic stands really close so we can both be in the circle.
I'm rubbing elbows.
Yeah, but I'm like, we're both in the circle. It's just the most magical feeling, and we love all the people at the Opry. And of course, one day we'd love to be Opry members. That's a huge bucket list.
No,
thing
it's
for us.
going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yes,
Yeah.
That's
I like the
on the
mentality.
huge dream list.
Yes.
That is right there. So
What else is on that list?
Man, being like duo of the year in either your CMA, ACM awards.
I can't wait to interview you all on the red carpet when you went to a.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
It's not one, right?
Hey, Carly still talks to us, so we just we're not throwing anything out there, but
Do we have to send her a selfie later?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, we have to send her a selfie.
Obviously, we'd love to have a #1 at country radio. That's obviously not an easy thing to do, but it's gonna happen one day.
There's never been a sister duo with the #1 at country radio.
Oh my
In the
goodness.
history.
Until y'all.
Which is crazy that like we can make history. It's like what? But it's good. We could.
Why not?
Yeah.
So,
So that
a sold out arena tour, headlining
Yes.
arena tour.
an international arena tour
Love
would
that.
be so many things.
sounds like you guys have talked about this before.
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
know everyone.
It seems like
The
it seems
vision
like you're
board.
ripping off all the country benchmarks.
But none of these
yeah.
are crazy.
No, they're not.
Very attainable.
You know, I always thought they were crazy, but
Then you
now
start checking stuff off.
then
and
you
you're
start
like, oh,
checking more and more things off, and you're like,
what's next?
We're getting
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
maybe
That's-
it's not so crazy. You know, we could get to there and just give it another year or two or 3 or 4, or, you know, whatever the timeline is. But yeah, it starts becoming a little more realistic as you go, which is very cool.
Yeah, and each new song, each new hit pulls everyone back to your back catalog to learn
Yes.
more about you and how you got here.
I think that's
These
what's
great
exciting. Is that,
bands.
yeah, you never know what the next song is going to do either.
Yeah.
You're seconds away from maybe your biggest hit ever. Maybe not, but maybe. It's just
You never know.
You
You
never
don't know.
Yeah.
Right. And so many people come to this town and that doesn't happen to them. Like, I was trying to think about the odds. You come from a town of 2,200 people, you come to Nashville, and you're making it in Nashville now. First of all, the odds of getting out of a town of 2,200 people with a singing duo of this caliber is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, to make it off Broadway and into the actual tours,
Mm-hmm.
that's wild.
We should chat GTP.
Oh, the odds.
The odds.
Yeah.
The odds of this actually
Well,
happening. But
Wait,
yeah.
that does not make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like we are very fortunate. We had good people to lean on when we moved to Nashville. A couple people, but we were very realistic. We're coming from we were big fish in a small pond. We are moving now to small fish in a big pond. Everyone and their mother wants to be a country singer.
Yep.
We understand that. So I think we just put our heads down. We worked really, really hard, and then so when that opportunity to sign a record deal came around, we were ready for
I
it.
think it's the most important thing to just remember. How can we stay true to who we are as artists and what makes us different? What separates us?
We want to say
You can't get in the head game of,
you can't
well,
compare.
this person's doing
I
this
get
and
you.
that person's doing that. And you obviously do because we're all human.
Mhm.
But I think it's always just been, we're a sister country music duo. That's already kind of a weird thing. But how can we just pave our own path?
Are y'all best friends too with Carly?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The three of us are.
We get along.
Carly, your sister, not Carly Pearce.
And Carly,
Yeah,
both, but yeah,
all the Carlys.
Right.
It's funny because
Carly with
everyone's
a
like,
K.
Yes.
everyone's like, why is the younger sister? Why didn't she join the band? And we tried to make it a trio when we were very, very young, but She didn't really like singing. At the time, she didn't like country music. She now likes country
She better.
music. Exactly. Come on, get with it, Carly. Honestly, she goes to more shows than we do. She was at Bonnaroo, she's at CMA Fest. She loves music so much. But we always say it's probably good we weren't a trio because our dynamic, I can't imagine having one more person in the band.
Yeah.
Because we are very aligned. Obviously, we argue about career stuff in a way to like help the career. You know what I mean? Like what's the best for the career, but we're pretty aligned with most things. But I can't imagine like 5-piece bands. Absolutely not. Nope.
Well, and your sister, she has a very important job.
Yes, she takes
She's
mammograms for a living.
mammographer.
She saves life.
At Vanderbilt. I'm not
Go get them checked, lady.
So thank God she did enjoy the duo.
Right, exactly. I mean, like she's way more important than we are. So she's saving people's lives.
That's
We're very proud of her.
Yeah, and your parents, I'm sure, they've raised some really strong girls.
Yeah,
They're proud, but we're kind of a family that doesn't show affection in that kind of way.
Yeah.
It's the North Dakota way.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Like,
they're so proud. I will say our mom, her personality too, she's very strong and fierce, and we've definitely taken on that and very, like, I think early on too, her just showing us and letting us know, like, if you want to do this, you can do it. You're going to have to work really hard, but you can do it.
she never thought it was crazy. Either.
Yeah, just having parents who never thought we were insane for wanting to do this, I think, and we had
That's
music
a lot.
teachers and music teachers too who never thought there was a few who thought we were crazy, but there was a few who really didn't think we were crazy. And so to have a few people in your corner going, you're not totally delusional for wanting to do this, it makes the world
especially as a
difference.
kid. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably a little bit. Do y'all deal with imposter syndrome at all? I mean, I deal with it. We all deal with it, right? But coming from a small town over here to do that, do you still deal
I
with
feel
it?
like we used to more so. I think we've really worked on, confidence. Maybe right away when stuff was starting to happen, when we first signed our deal and everything's new.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, am I ready for this? I deserve this? But now I think Kendra and I have such confidence in ourselves and each other and our band. I think since it's been such a long journey, I think we're just excited and ready for it.
We're very grateful, but also we do
deserve to be here.
worked
Yes.
for
And I don't think that's a ridiculous thing to say of like, if you worked really hard for something, you should own that you're there and you worked really hard and you do deserve it.
And we've put tens of thousands of hours into this.
Oh my gosh, you dedicated your whole life to it.
Yes.
And the work you did on the social media when you first were getting the word out about this thing, I mean, you guys are massive successes on social media. 700,000 followers or something?
TikTok, yeah. Oh my goodness. Honestly, the TikTok thing, we always had relied on Facebook, Instagram, because we grew up in a place where we couldn't reach as many people.
Sure.
We wanted not to limit ourselves. And honestly, I think our mom's email's still on our YouTube account because we were so young.
It's so funny. We're with Sony Music National. They're like, what emails connected to your
this is
YouTube?
my
It's
mom.
like, this is our mom's email from when we started this how many years ago?
Here you go.
So precious.
I forget what the question was. Oh, social media.
TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
during COVID is when we started on TikTok big because we were playing Broadway at the time. Obviously, everything shut down.
That was done.
Had no job. Very much a low point in our career to where that was kind of the turning point for us. Is like, we've dedicated 8 years of our lives to this. Do we keep going? Like, what's the point? We worked really, really hard and we're not really seeing the results we want to yet. But I forced Kendra to get on TikTok. And
Forced.
is the
I did. We were both, and I mean, like, this is 5 years ago. And we're both like, I don't know what this is. But I went viral for something really stupid that doesn't even matter. So I was like, if I can get a couple million views on this, like, we should put our music on here.
Mm-hmm.
So we just started playing little acoustic covers in our kitchen. And we would do that 3 or 4 times a day. And soon it just kind of, started taking off. And that ended up getting the attention of a label who we talked to several years ago. So, it all works out, but I don't think we would have got on TikTok if we had been doing Broadway because our voices were shot from it.
In a weird way, the pandemic.
It made us.
It launched you.
It made us work on social
forced a
media.
lot of innovation.
It was
Yes.
nice because we had so much performing
Right.
behind our belts, but also at the same time we needed that little spark on social media too to get the attention of, say, a label. And so to have both was necessary, but yeah, we probably wouldn't have got on TikTok the way we did if the world wouldn't have shut down.
But it's also a testament to you because you said we've reached a point. 8 years we've done this. Is it a waste? Do we go on? Do we use our music degree in business and work in that, or do we persevere through? And you clearly made the right decision. But
yeah, I was like, we need to go back to school. I didn't even move back to North Dakota. I mean, we were
We were on unemployment at that point because we literally hadn't. I mean, we made all of our money through playing.
It was not a fun time for us.
Yeah,
and it was very discouraging. And this is like a small thing, but we actually received money from like ACM Lifting Lives, which is a program that helps musicians out. And then 4 years later, we won our first ACM awards. So we're the first recipients and also winner of an ACM award.
They did tell us that. They're like,
we have range.
You're the first.
You literally
You're the first artist who have gotten the ACM Lifting Lives grant to winning an ACM award.
That's
you have lifted lives.
That is
that they invested in the right, you know.
Yeah. So we always just tell them, of course, thank you, because honestly, who knows what we really needed that help at that time, and if that would have happened, we wouldn't have probably ever won an ACM award. So it's. Did you hear that?
No.
That was very North Dakota of me.
Wasn't gonna say anything, but
that's okay.
You make fun of us.
I was just gonna say, what don't you say, crick?
Yeah. Roof. Bag is weird for the bag. You know.
Yep.
Very like Minnesota and North Dakota, and
it's so cute.
Honestly, good. Like if we would have come back and did this podcast after spending a couple of days up in Minnesota, you would probably be hearing more of it. To be honest.
Yeah, this weekend it's gonna get thick again.
Oh, that's awesome.
I feel that when I go to East Tennessee, I come back and I sound like an East Tennessee. I sound like
yeah. Nashville kind of neutrals you out just because there's so many different kinds of people here. Yes, but when you go back home, it clicks real quick.
I love it.
I love it. People don't understand. North Dakota is actually a beautiful state.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time there when I was living out in Denver, and it's amazing the 4 distinct seasons that you get up there. It's just hunting paradise. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, summers are incredible, and it stays light outside till 10 o'clock at night.
That's
it's insane.
amazing.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, wide open spaces. There's the Badlands, Badlands National Park.
It's very underrated because I think a lot of people will get up to South Dakota even for touring our artist friends. They don't quite make it all the way up to North Dakota. So I'm like, no, you need to go see it. It's so beautiful. I just don't think people know about it.
Well,
January when it's -40.
I was gonna say that's the only time we see video from North Dakota is when the snow drifts blowing across the road at 50 miles per hour.
Yes.
That's when the rest of the country sees you.
Yeah,
that's not a good
is
representation.
Insane. That is crazy. That it does get that cold. I will say, moving here now,
I didn't know it was abnormal because like we grew up there. I was like, oh, I don't have to stick my car out my. Don't do this. It's not like a safe thing. Like stick my car out or head out the window to like because I don't have time to scrape my windshield before going to school. Like already
We've all been there. We've all been there.
30 minutes ahead of time. Just all the things you don't even.
I know you'll miss home, I'm sure, but you probably don't miss them.
Well, everyone's here in spring,
I don't
right?
like cold weather.
Yeah, and our family's here now. Yeah, of course we miss home, but we get back there for shows a lot, so it's really nice to get
best of both worlds
fix. But when I see my friends back at home and it is -40 and the snow's up to here and I'm sitting here, I'm like, that's not so.
You sent a message. It's really cold here. It's 75 degrees today.
Yeah.
And now that your family's here too, you guys have your little Tennesseans now.
Yeah, it makes it much more homey here to have them here because obviously it's a long journey up to North Dakota, so we wouldn't see them as much. So it makes it much more homey to have them.
We're getting closer and closer to your songwriting time, but do you guys still take any voice coaching? Do you have someone that you work with? Because there are times when your harmonies actually sound like one voice, and I think that's an incredible sound that you make. I was just wondering if it's still a work in progress.
I mean, I think we always our main thing is if we are singing new songs or different songs to make sure we spend time on them. If there's a song we're struggling with, we will book like a vocal lesson to help with specific. We're just very intentional about it. We probably
most of it is just us practicing though and making sure it feels
good
together.
We'll just like record ourselves on an iPhone and be brutally honest and be like, hey, what do I like? What do I not like? What can I fix?
Our vowel shapes aren't connecting there.
Yes.
It's very weird things
we'll
like
just
that.
film ourselves on
Because you're constantly working on your craft.
Always. I don't think you're ever.
I was just curious about that. Like,
we're always trying to get better. I don't think we've reached our peak of.
You're always going to get better, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I even looked to 3 years ago and how much better singers and performers we are from then. You're always growing, and I think if you think you're at your best,
You never want to
You're
plateau.
wrong. I mean, it's like you never want to plateau.
Well, whenever
Um,
you win Duo of the Year, you'll look back and then you'll be like, okay, what are we going to do next?
Yeah.
So,
Well, they got that list. They got that
I know.
list,
I
right?
guess a Grammy. I don't know.
Grammy,
Yeah,
let's
Grammy.
do it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's on the list too.
Waiting on
Let's
that
do it.
invite from the Opry, waiting on that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've got a long ways to go before that, but
Well,
we're working on it.
We're,
so.
yeah, you're getting close.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? And,
Yes.
yeah.
Tigirlily Gold, Tigirlily Gold, Spotify, Apple Music, everything's under Tigirlily Gold though.
Well-
Instagram, all the things.
I love
Go
the
download
website
the
because
song.
what you're wearing is part of your merch on the website, correct? Is that?
Oh, not this one, but we do have
Brown House.
we have a
Something.
brown house. This
There was
is
a
from
brown-
a boutique back home in North Dakota, actually called Drift. But we do have merch on the website. Yeah, we have we have a blonde state of mind.
It's fun stuff.
Shoot tequila.
Tequila's, I bet that's a big one.
We'll send y'all some merch. But
Yeah.
we have some
Yeah.
new shirts, country and midwestern,
Love
which
that.
is super cute. We have
Mama didn't raise no quitter.
Mama
which is
didn't
a
raise
line
no
from-
quitter.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah,
That's
that's a
on
big
lot of
seller.
things. Yeah.
Yep, that's
Popular one.
That's become a saying of
Yeah.
ours that people like. Mama didn't raise no quitter,
Mantra.
which is funny. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yes. Yes.
But I always say it mantra, which is totally
Mantra.
It's a mantra.
That's our
mantra.
mantra.
Yeah.
North Dakota girls, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank
Oh
you
my
for
gosh,
having
it's
us.
great. I'm so excited to talk to you guys after you do all the touring for an artist because you learn from each artist that
Yes.
you go out on the road with. And when you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so close together, you're just gonna keep learning.
You definitely take notes. You say, what did this person do really well? Most people are very, very nice. But there's also a couple things you're like, oh, I don't want to do that too. So, yeah, you're always taking mental notes.
Well, we're big fans.
Thank
and
thank
If
you.
y'all are watching this right now, go download their music and save it all. You're going to love it.
It's great.